Hi and welcome to the Bonsai Matsu YouTube channel. Scott Martin from Bonsai Matsu, and I'd like to thread graft this Japanese maple. You'll see there's some fairly long shoots that have been allowed to grow over the last 12 months. It's just prior to spring, so the buds haven't opened yet, but are getting very close to, which for me, I find that's about the ideal time. Now look at this maple, it's been recently repotted back about a month and a half ago. So it's all stabilised now, it's ready to go, ready to run. And looking at the structure, it's quite nice in certain parts of the tree, but there's definitely some other things I'd like to do with it. And you can see there's some fairly large scars around the tree where there was some fairly significant branches removed previously. So I'd like to look at taking one or two of these big long shoots and then looking to add a branch, say in around this section of the tree, somewhere like that. You know, maybe possibly another one around through here as well. And I'll run through the technique that I use and the tools that I use for the job as well. So for the tools I'm going to be using today are some reasonably new, fairly sharp drill bits. An electric drill that's got a slow speed setting on it. It's really important you don't burn the cambium layer as you're drilling the hole, so you've got to do it reasonably slowly. There's going to be some wire used and applied to, I'm just using aluminium wire of a decent size. I think this is about 2.5 mil, to bend some of those whips into the shape that I want and hold the shape on them. Otherwise, what happens if you feed the branch through and there's no wire there to hold it in place, the tree naturally wants to fight and pull back out of the hole that we're going to create, the thread that we're going to feed through the tree. So I find that the wire helps hold it in position, so obviously some wire cutters, and then some kind of a cut putty or cut paste, some kind of wound sealant to use on the tree as well. So let's get into it and see what we can make out of this tree. So with regard to the branch that I've chosen and the size drill bit that I'm going to use, it's important to work out which branch is going to give me the most easy access with this, because I don't want to bend this feeder branch at an awkward angle and then snap it or put undue pressure on it. So this one I think will give me my first point. And the second point that you have to really consider before drilling the hole into the tree, before making the graft hole, is to work out the size of the buds that are going to be sticking out from the side of the branch. You don't want to, for instance, drill say a 3mm hole and then the bud width is 5mm and those buds get damaged as they're fed through the hole. So it's important to make a measure roughly of the size bud that's going to be coming through the tree. And for me, I've measured mine. Mine's about, the bud width is about 5mm, so I'm going to go for a 5.5mm hole, which should safely pass these buds through the tree at undamaged. The next important point is to understand that you start drilling the hole for the thread from the exit position on the trunk. So you don't start from the back coming forward, you start from the front going back, or wherever you'd like that thread to finally come out. That way you get the position perfect for the thread. But you can also set the angle based on the direction of your drill. You can set the future angle of that branch, how it's going to exit the trunk of the tree. You'll see from the exit point, so we started on this side of the tree and we fed back through. You'll see that this part might be a little bit unclean, so it's worthwhile just getting a sharp blade and just cleaning that up. Once it's wide, just leave the tail on the excess wire, because we'll use that also to secure the thread to another branch to help hold it in position. So that's the branch threaded through from the back of the tree round to the front there. I've left a nice short internode section here from the connection with the trunk to where the branch threads through and the first set of buds appear. That's another important thing, is to position it where you wouldn't like to have a really long internode. You want to try and keep it as a reasonably short internode so you can develop really nice branch structure from it. So the last thing is take some wound sealant and use cut putty and just patch it around the holes. So that's the thread graft done. That's as simple as what it is. A couple of key things: don't drill too fast, don't damage the buds as you're feeding it through, make sure your hole is large enough without being too large. Now from here, what you'll notice is this will come around when spring gets here, the buds will start to open, this will start to grow. When the cambium from the trunk comes into connection with the new branches being threaded through there, you'll notice there's a sudden acceleration of growth on the thread, and also a thickening of the branch. So in comparison from the branch where it feeds through to where it comes out of the trunk in its new desired position, you'll notice there'll be a differential between the thickness of the branches. So this one will get a lot thicker than this one. That's when you know it's starting to work. So make sure that before you separate this section of the feeder part of the thread, that this part is well and truly connected and you can see some really nice cambium in contact with that branch. It can take quite a while. Can be quick depending on the growth rate of the tree. Just make sure you don't remove it too soon, otherwise the thread will die. So good luck, get out there, go and thread graft. I've got a few more to do on this tree. It's a great way to add branches where you need them. I have seen it done on different conifers, that sort of thing. My preference is to do it on my deciduous trees, and I find it's a nice way to get a branch exactly where you want it. The thread's nice and safe as opposed to an approach graft. It's my go-to for developing some beautiful maples. So thanks for tuning in. Subscribe, like, all the usual stuff, and stick around. Check out Instagram for some nice photos, and Facebook as well. And thanks for sticking around. And as always, happy bonsai.